Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring the review for Vamp Manga chapter. I think it's 27, that one now. But within this chapter, not much going on within this chapter. It's all centered around Rangfang and how he's going to be moving going forward. And it's a good look. It's a good look. I am a bit skeptical about, is this realistic? I know it's very not rude, very not realistic to have realistic expectations for manga, but it is what it is. And really what I'm getting into right now is that it should be temporarily, but for right now he's out of his slump. He's stopped brooding. He's essentially normal at this moment. And why I think this is unrealistic is simply because I am not sure how much time has passed since he murdered Buzz. Like in the very first chapter of this volume, it was mentioned by Nikea a week has passed. In the very next chapter, during the phone conversation with Jess, I'm not sure who says it, Nikea or Jess, it was mentioned that weeks had passed. So whichever one it is, kind of determines how realistic this is, because obviously after killing someone, especially for the first time, especially by accident, you're going to brood over it. And we know he's been going to therapy, but him come snapping out of it, that is something that would happen eventually. And who am I to say this is too quick or too slow? But regardless of coming out of it, he should relapse again. At some point, he should relapse again. And in all honesty, this is something that should be explored with Rangfang. Rangfang's present mood, his PTSD moment in life, is something that should be shown to us on screen, explored at the very minute, at least until his next fight. Until his next fight is said and done, I feel like this is something that should be explored. It can then be again explored later on down the line when he actually does have to kill someone by his choice or by accident again. But yeah, like I said, something that should be explored essentially into his end of his very next fight. And why I say why it should be explored after the fact as well, or rather why it can be explored after the fact as well, is simply because one of his adopted mom, I forget if it's Liz or Anne, I'm surprised I even remember their names because I'm very bad with names. One of them mentions that how killing, even if the person deserves it was a good person, a bad person, accidental or intentionally, killing is always hard. It always has its effect on the person. So that's why I say that even after his first fight and his next fight, which I think should start with him like, oh my gosh, I'm in a fight again, what if I lose control? But he doesn't lose control. He wins this fight, keeps his enemy alive, and he comes out with the win. This could also actually lead to him losing the fight because he's too scared to go all out. Anyway, but yeah, as I was saying, when he has that moment of, oh my gosh, I'm in a fight, or if I lose control, but wins his fight and keeps his enemy alive. Oh, what's the point I'm trying to make? After he has that moment, that's when you can kind of dial back on exploring his PTSD. But I feel like after this fight, and he's had a few more fights, and then because he bangs on this chapter about he's going to be a hero, he's not going to kill again, but because of what he's doing, because of the life he wants to live, there might come a moment in time where he does have to kill again intentionally. And because we've had one of his adopted moms just basically say like, killing, be it for the good or for the bad, the intentional, the not intentional, it always leaves his mark on you. So we've seen what killing has done to him the first time. Second kill should have some sort of effect on him, and that's an avenue you can explore, if you will. So Rangfang, he's all hyped up, he's all good to go. He wants to be someone he wants to be a hero, and he doesn't want to kill again, so therefore he recognizes that he needs to train, and the training that is offered to him within this chapter, which he gradually is willing to accept, is training under the SAS. I can't remember. No. It's basically kind of like, from what I gauge, because I don't think it's been told to us, I think it's like an army force of some sort, special army force, if you will, obviously, because we're dealing with supernatural beings, werewolves, vampires, all of them. Any supernatural being you can think of is probably wrapped in there in Vamp. But yeah, because we're dealing with So it's a kind of a special force. So he and one of his mums, I don't think the other mum is present, have gone to a warehouse where this training is going to take place under Rangfang's mum's old teacher from the SAS. And so he's going to be learning essentially army tactics, in my opinion. At least that's what I've assumed. He's going to be learning army tactics, which is fine. And I'm not sure if I'm misunderstanding what has been told to us, but I feel like this training that he's going to undergo is going to teach him, one, to lose control. I'm not one, to keep control rather of when he goes into his werewolf state. It's stated that it's like a natural thing for werewolves to kind of go berserk when they're in their werewolf forms. Fair enough. So one, you're going to learn how to control it, and two, this is where I think I'm misinterpreting things, because from what the chapter said, it made me feel like that there will be training to learning towards to, for example, werewolf out in his hand and his hand only, and have that for an attack. That'd be kind of cool. Don't think it's a thing for like werewolves to just party transform, but as James likes to say for his series, the truth is more than it seems. So maybe we've just been lied to all these years, and werewolves can truly change part of themselves if they wanted to. So that's something that I think could be coming. I'm not sure if it could be coming, but it'd be pretty cool if it does. So I'm gonna have a bit of a nitpick, because I like to do this from time to time, and it's not a big nitpick, it's not a major nitpick, but it's about the naming. It's about the naming of the series, and like I kind of find it lazy, but at the same time I think I understand where you're coming from, James, because I dabble in the pen arts, if you will. I've written some things. So I do understand that it can be hard to name characters. I understand, but I feel like the way James is, I know what he's going for, but I feel like it's too bait. There's no kind of it's just really out there and just in your face, like it's just too bait, if you will. And now, like I said, I'm talking about the naming of the characters, and it's not just for the characters that was introduced to us for today, but I see it in almost all of the characters that are named within the series. So within this chapter, we're introduced to Mick something. That was his first name. And his surname was... Do you know what? Let me just get the phone. McLeahy Moonhowler. Now see, now the problem for me with this character is his surname. It's too big. Like, I see where you've gone with your name scheme, and it's just too big, and just, I know, like I said, I know it's hard to name characters, but try to be more not selective, just more. If you want to have the name, just don't. It doesn't have to be a thing where there has to be a hint to their heritage, or just something about the character within the name. That doesn't have to be the case. But if that must be the case, try to do it more discreetly. Because, for example, McMahon, whatever, Moonhowler, he's a werewolf. Werewolves transfer through under the moon. Howling is what they do. It's obvious where your name state came from, and I could do it with other characters as well. The KR Vamp. Is his name Von Vamp or Vamp? But his surname is Vamp. Vampire. There. Some of them are not too bait, but Inkra. Ink is a thing. It's in the name. Her name could have been just Ikra. Its name could have just been Ikra. That's an actual, I think it's Indian name, but to make it less bait, I think even Kaz Smith is that blacksmith, as in a profession, as in people saying that creates weapons, something that Kaz does. Pretty sure it is. What else have you got? But I think Jess's one is not that too big, but Jess Yinto, if I'm not mistaken, Jess is a Japanese character, Yinto is a Japanese surname. I can kind of forgive that one, but I feel like I've given enough examples for you to kind of just get where I'm going with this. Like, try to be more discreet with your name and discreet with your name. And I can kind of give you an example because like I said, I was working on a series myself. Unfortunately, I don't have the talents of being able to draw, so I was just writing it, and one was intentional, one was accidental. But my two main characters, I'm not gonna tell you the meanings of the names, but I'm just gonna say the meanings of the names kind of line up to the kind of character that they are within the series. And so one of the main characters, their name was Serena Khalees Young. Each of those names has a meaning which essentially related to that character, which was kind of cool. I liked it. It was a more not indirect, just more sly way of telling you about them, about telling you about them using their name. The second main character's name was Riley Hawkins. Again, this one, again, the name does match up with the kind of character that they are, but this one was completely accidental. And when I actually checked the name and meaning of the names, I was like, wow, that was very accidental, but very appropriate kind of thing. So yeah, James, try to be more discreet with your naming choices. That's all I can say on that. The last thing I do want to mention is, and I just want to give kind of kind of give Rangfang some props here, because they've gone to this warehouse. He's going to start this training under this wise old man kind of figure from the SAS, and Rangfang puts it out, it's like, you're like, yo, like, what can you, like, you're an old man, what can you really teach me, kind of thing. And he gets speed blitzed. Now granted, he goes from Moonhowler, as I'm going to call him. He goes from in front of Rangfang to behind Rangfang. And now before he lays down his walking stick and hits Rangfang, Rangfang realizes he's behind him. And I feel like the only reason he got hit by the walking stick is because he was so shocked that this man could move as fast as he did. And that's why he wasn't able to react to the hit, to stop himself from getting hit on the top of the head. And now I am not now saying that I'm saying that if Ramfang wasn't shocked, he could have reacted and possibly dodged the hit. Now I'm not now saying that Moon Howler was moving at his top speed. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that the speed that he was moving at for this moment, Rangfang is pretty close to, if he's not like able to keep up with it, he's not pretty much far off of it. That's my thought process, and that's kind of the assumption I came to after reading this chapter. But I could be wrong. But I don't believe, if I am right, and Rangfang could have dodged that hit, like I said, I don't think Moonhowler was moving at top speed. I feel like he just wanted to flex a little bit. But the little bit of flexing that he did do, I don't think that's far off Rangfang's current level, if far off at all. I pretty much feel like Rangfang could have kept up with it. But that's everything I got to say about this chapter. Like always, rating. 3-star rating. And like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.